What is going on, everybody? This is Mike from the Last Corvette. Today is Saturday. Happy Saturday. Whew! It is freaking hot. The summer weather is back. We had basically a chill. When I say a chill, it was like in the 50s and then low 70s for the entire week. And this weekend is, into next week, looks pretty good. Back in the 80s, mid 80s, high 80s. So, a couple of things about the golf cart. I ended up replacing the front windshield. That's something that I brought up a couple of videos ago. I ended up going with a clear windshield like I wanted. The windshield that came with the golf cart had few scratches that can easily be buffed out. They're not deep, they're just surface scratches, surface smears basically on the plexiglass. But one of the things that I didn't like about it is that it's tinted, it's smoked. And there's like 3 different levels, I want to say, or at least 2 different levels, and there's a clear see-through windshield. I do take this thing out on the trails at night, and yes, it has headlights now and all this good stuff, but still, it's better to look through a clear windshield versus a tinted one, specifically at night. And let's be realistic, if it's a sunny day like today, just put some sunglasses on. Doesn't bother me. Anyway, and in this video, I'll show you guys the windshield. And basically, the installation is super easy, super simple. Regardless if you are replacing a windshield or if you're just adding a windshield to your golf cart. Most kits come with everything that you need to install and properly mount the windshield onto the frame of the golf cart. And by the frame, I mean the roof frame, the vertical uprights in the front. But before I show you guys the windshield and the smoked windshield that I put to the side, it has all the hardware. It's free. If you guys want it, I'll keep it for 2 weeks. Obviously, no shipping, local pickup in the Metro Detroit area, state of Michigan, obviously. So just reach out to me. It's yours. Literally, it has few scratches. There's a tiny hairline crack by one of the fasteners. I'm assuming at some point somebody over torqued the screw, but it's good, trust me. I would have kept it, I would have polished it if it wasn't tinted or smoked. And also, I'll cover, we'll say the first issue with this golf cart, the first breakdown that I will actually make a video on when I get around to cleaning it, servicing it. So we'll get to that later on in this video. All right, so as promised, here is the golf cart. Has a brand new clear windshield. Let me zoom out so you guys can see it. Got it for like $64 with shipping. Now, let me get in the golf cart. As you can see, it's crystal clear, and mind you, it's full of dust because I did take it on the trail last night and already has fingerprints for my kids and whatnot. But a huge difference compared to that smoked windshield. I like it. So a couple of things. These windshields for club car DSs, they cover basically decades of these golf carts. And basically it's the geometry or the outline of the windshield and the frame structure. So this is the same frame that holds the roof to the golf cart. Pretty simple. Now, this kit comes with everything. It does come fully assembled, meaning that the hinge part, because this top portion folds over the lower portion of the windshield. So you can either get yourself, a little breeze if you want to, like on a day like today if you're driving around, or you can cover yourself up if it's chilly or if it's raining or whatever the reason is. So it goes up and down, it flips towards the front of the golf cart. So that's all assembled. It also comes with protective film, basically inside, outside of the windshield. You got to peel that off before you install it. So let's get into the installation. And mind you, if you do like the smoked windshield that I'm giving away for free, it does come with all the hardware to put it back on your club car or really any other golf cart, as long as you make it work. So very simple. You have bottom retainers, you have side retainers, okay, and the only hardware or fasteners is for these quick release latches. There's 2 screws per side. The old one had the same thing, except they just used a dab of silicone. This windshield came already pre-drilled through the plexiglass with the retainers, also with these bumpers. These bumpers are obviously making contact with the frame, so you get less movement or less rattle. And then when you fold it back, this side of the bumper makes contact with the lower portion of the windshield. Same reason, so you're not banging the two pieces of the windshield together. These guys here are your retainers. So basically what happens is, like I'm gonna unlock it right now. I'm gonna try, because you gotta use two hands. So if you do that, come on. It's hard to do it with the camera. So, all right. So when you do that, the windshield will fold, and as you can see, it goes into these little grooves. And then what you do is you, like that. It just goes right in. And obviously using two hands is a must, but yeah, you just go in and it holds it in place so it doesn't rattle or bounce around. As you can see, this bumper right here is making contact on both sides, and voila, you have a wide open windscreen. So without putting it back, because that's a pain in the butt. Anywho, the way I uninstall this windshield, if we come around like from the inside of the golf cart, you'll see that these retainers, they fit right over the uprights of the windshield frame or your roof frame, right? And they're little tabs, they're little channels, and you basically spread them apart and they pop right off. So what I did to remove the old one is I undid 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously the windshield was folded. You want to make sure it's folded, not latched. And I pulled it straight out. And installation is very, very simple. So what you do is you position your new windshield and you slide it into the new retainers. So the first thing you want to do is, if you're replacing the retainers, you want to snap them onto the bottom of your frame, then insert your windshield, center it, and then what you want to do is slide your sides retainers over the windshield and then pop them into place over the frame. Very, very simple to do. In the next portion of this video, I'm going to explain why I broke down for the first time in this golf cart. All right, so didn't really want to make a long, dragged out video about this whole windshield installation process. It's literally straightforward, and it does come with all the hardware, like I mentioned, and instructions. And if you're not sure, if you have a windshield on your golf cart, just reverse the process and basically mark where all the retainers are. Even if you snap them into the windshield, you can still move them around. They're just plastic, basically clips, big clips. But anyway, breaking down. So last night I took this golf cart out on our trail system, and I was about 2 miles away with my kids and my friends' kids with me. It was starting to get dark. It was running perfect, no issues. And we stopped right by the creek. It's actually a creek that leads into a pond. Kids like to stop there and just hang out for a little while. We stop and, they got ready and let's go, and I hit the throttle and nothing happens. Now, mind you, I don't have any tools. I'm about 2+ miles away from the house. So the kids go, we're going to push it all the way home. And I said, that's going to be a long push. I would rather just leave it here if we can't get it started. And, just bring my truck and tow it back. Somebody will steer behind me. But luckily, so on these Club Car DSs, I've been slowly but surely going through the systems. One of the things that I need to do is adjust the throttle cable. So let me back up. The first thing that I did to this golf cart is I did what they call it a Club Car zip tie mod for the governor, for the back spring. It adds 4 to 5 miles per hour. Now, mind you, I still have the rev limiter installed and a RPM gauge because I don't want to blow this engine up. Yes, it can go 25, probably 30 miles an hour, but that engine is going to grenade. So rev limiter is still in place. And one other issue that I still have, I guess, it's not that big of a deal, is if I get moving, right, regardless of how many passengers I have, and I hit the rev limiter, okay, what it does, it cuts the spark. And if I have my foot on the throttle, the fuel is still flowing into the carburetor, and what happens is when it reignites, so when I basically get down on the RPM range, it backfires, and it doesn't do it every time, and I float the throttle, but usually it happens wide open throttle going downhill. The rev limiter will kick in, and I'm totally fine with that. I normally don't run in wide open anyway, but that's a couple of things that I need to kind of look at, probably adjust the carburetor as well. So anyway, going back to the breakdown. Won't start. So normally on gas golf carts, you have like a service mode, which that's not the issue. That's all brand new. And then you put in gear, either forward or reverse. You hit the throttle, the pedal, and it starts, okay? Nothing, dead. I'm like, maybe something's going on with the ignition. I'm turning the key, nothing. I'm like, did the battery die? It's brand new. Nope, the battery's fine. Even though I didn't have a voltmeter, but I could tell because the headlights, everything was turning on and off, and all the electronics were working. So I kind of, told the kids, I'm like, hey, let's get off the seats. Let me check things out. Then it hit me. Let me check the black box. So the black box essentially is it's part of your throttle cable system, connected obviously to the gas pedal, through the box, to the carburetor, the butterfly, and then goes all the way to the back where the governor is, right? To basically an arm mounted to the transmission. So I've never looked at that black box, but it was like one of the things on my list to do. So inside you have a, like a rotator that is connected to the throttle cable, and there's 2 limit switches. There's relays there. There's also a solenoid and a fuse. So first thing I did is I pulled the fuse out. That's fine. I'm like, maybe the fuse blew, whatever. No, fuse is fine. The 2 limit switches, so there's 2 limit switches. One is to start, and the other one is to stop, essentially, right? And somehow the stop limit switch got stuck. And the reason it got stuck is because there was a bunch of crud inside the box. Not like fully filled, but it was kind of nasty. So I'm like, this is my last resort. So I kind of worked the limit switches, and it fired right up. We made it home. I had the cover off. I sprayed some brake clean over the switches, got them cleaned up, ran it a few more times, no issues whatsoever. But what I have to do is I have to go back in there, make sure the limit switches are adjusted, make sure they're working properly, probably clean them out with some spray, like electric spray or contact spray as they call it, and then just clean out the box itself, vacuum it out. A little reminder, this golf cart was used at a campsite, so there's a couple of spots that I still need to clean, like the battery tray. You could see some squirrelies were in there, not chewing on stuff, but like storing stuff. So I kind of cleaned what I could, but when I'm done using this golf cart, I'll pull the battery out and clean out the tray, and that should be it. And same thing with the black box. I'll clean it, and most importantly, what I'll do is I'll adjust the throttle cable. The throttle cable is slightly out of adjustment, and from what I've been reading in the manual that I have for this golf cart, is you should have about 1 inch of play on the throttle pedal itself. So once you move it 1 inch, it should start the golf cart, and I have about 1.5 inches of extra play. The way you do that is you have to go under the golf cart, and basically you adjust the throttle cable there, and basically take up the slack. Then I have to check the butterfly as well to make sure it's not like open or fully closed, because that can create issues as well, starting and running. So that's on my list of things to do to this golf cart, is adjust the throttle cable. We'll do that together in a separate video. The black box, as they call it, and from there, it should be okay.